U.S. officials are engaging separately with Ukrainian and Russian negotiators in Saudi Arabia to discuss a 30-day ceasefire on attacks targeting energy infrastructure and a broader peace deal. The talks, initiated by President Donald Trump, follow his recent conversations with Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Key issues in the talks: ceasefire on energy infrastructure. Putin and Trump agreed that the movement to peace will begin with a temporary halt on attacks against energy facilities. However, its implementation remains uncertain, with both sides continuing strikes. Zelensky suggested expanding the ceasefire to include rail and port infrastructure. A moratorium could favor Moscow, preventing Ukraine from hitting Russian oil facilities, a key military strategy. Nuclear power plants. Trump proposed U.S. involvement in Ukraine's nuclear power sector, including potential ownership. Discussions focus on the Zaporizhzhia plant, Europe's largest, currently under Russian control. Ukraine would be ready to discuss U.S. involvement in modernizing the plant if it were returned, Zelensky said, but warned it could take years and major investments to restore operations. Black Sea shipping. Putin responded constructively to Trump's initiative on securing Black Sea trade routes. The original UN-Turkey-mediated Black Sea grain initiative collapsed in 2023, but despite tensions, both Russia and Ukraine continue grain exports. Prisoner exchanges. Both sides recently exchanged 175 prisoners each, with Russia releasing an additional 22 wounded Ukrainians. Zelensky described them as severely wounded warriors and those persecuted for fabricated crimes. NATO membership and post-war security. Putin demands Ukraine abandon its NATO aspirations, while Kyiv insists membership remains a key security goal. U.S. officials appear divided. Trump's envoy suggested NATO membership wasn't ruled out, while the defense secretary called it unrealistic. Meanwhile, Britain and France are considering a post-war foreign military presence in Ukraine, which Russia rejects. Western sanctions and Ukrainian elections. Putin seeks sanctions relief and a Ukrainian presidential election, but Kyiv insists Moscow has no say in its democratic processes. Trump's administration is reportedly exploring ways to ease sanctions if Russia agrees to peace, while also threatening additional banking curbs if war continues. Russian-held territory. Moscow demands recognition of annexed regions, but Ukraine refuses to accept Russian sovereignty over its land. Trump's national security advisor asked, "Is it in our national interest? Is it realistic?" indicating possible U.S. flexibility. Natural resources and energy deals. Kyiv and Washington are discussing a deal granting the U.S. financial benefits from Ukraine's rare earth resources, vital for electronics. Trump claimed an agreement is imminent, despite earlier tensions in talks. Additionally, Ukraine's vast underground gas storage could serve European markets reliant on non-Russian energy. With negotiations still fluid, key sticking points include Ukraine's NATO bid, territorial sovereignty, and post-war security guarantees.